Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is Weeknights. Yay! We're back on this Thursday night. It is Thursday night, right? Yeah, okay.
It is Thursday.
All right, sweet. We're back on this Thursday night,
Yeah.
and we're here to talk about some things going on in the entertainment industry.
Some things going on. I'm Dash, by the way. What are you waiting for me to do more? Or
Oh yeah, I thought all the AKAs were coming.
nah, I was just saying I'm Dash, by the way.
All
And then
right.
I was waiting for you to.
To say who I is.
Yeah.
I am JD, aka He Who Pods. Glasses on today, so also rear view mirror. No AKAs today, huh? Fuck them AKAs. Ooh.
You gotta be careful with the things that you say. I've told you before that has multiple meanings.
F them AKAs?
It has multiple meanings.
All right, the sororities and all that. All
AKA
right.
also stands for Alpha Kappa Alpha, and while
I'm
you
not,
are
I'm never talking
and
about
while you,
those.
I understand that, but this week in particular, not too much because we
I,
don't
I
want any
don't,
confusion. We
I
don't want
don't.
any confusion this week. The Vice President of the United States is a member of Alpha Kappa Alpha sorority.
All right. So,
I,
moving right along.
I'm trying to help you out. So we don't have to.
I'm talking about the also known as, not that shit, okay?
Sure.
I don't have no beef with the high steppers, okay?
All right.
Now, let me not say that. So the other day apparently was Diddy's birthday, and his son, King Combs,
His boy.
His son decided to make a grand statement, and I'm gonna play it for y'all.
What's up, y'all? It's King Kong. And right now, I'm taking over my pop's Instagram. We're going to be posting videos by spreading, good energy and taking y'all down memory lane and all the positive things he did. So stay tuned and watch this. Let's go. Pops, happy birthday.
I'll start if you don't mind.
Sure.
I see two sides of this. On one side, I see, on one side, I see a young man who is trying to, celebrate his dad, someone he's close with, someone he loves. And I see that. I can see, dad is in there. I'm out here. It's his birthday. I can't be with him. And so I'm going to celebrate dad.
Okay.
I see that side. I can see that.
What does that have to do with social media?
Well, today a lot of the celebrating happens online. Everybody and their mother, everybody including their mother, posts "It's my birthday" posts on social media to let the world know, hey, give me attention today. Which another time, if you like, we can talk about how much I hate birthday posts. But today on social, birthdays are a thing that are quote unquote celebrated on socials. People may have no birthday celebration, but there is a celebration on socials. And so I think this is him saying, all right, let's go to socials and show dad love on socials. I even have a friend, I won't name the person, But I even have a friend who this last year, they have posted all their friends on their page for their birthdays. And say like, oh, today's Dash birthday. Everybody in the comments wish Dash a happy birthday. Every friend they have when a birthday comes around, that's what they've done. So if
What
that's the thing that
has
people
to
are,
do? I'm sorry, but what does that have to do with what King Combs did? Because I hear you, and I know that people do birthday posts. So what? We don't care about that. This is a very specific thing, right? Is it not?
I'm saying I see one perspective where the kid is trying to celebrate his dad on socials.
I hear you. I just feel like the comparison doesn't align. Like this is not somebody on the internet posting their friends, "Hey, go say happy birthday to my friends." This is not that. This is a 26-year-old who whose father is in jail for trafficking, etc., 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 etc.
Yeah.
Taking over his father's Instagram and saying that he's going to post all the positive things his father has done to showcase his father's positivity or whatever it was. That's not the same thing. I'm sorry, but I don't think it is. I don't think it is. I think it's real different from the average person on the internet who's like, "Oh, happy birthday to my friends." That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. People are free to wish people happy birthday and however they feel. This is different because everybody is not wishing happy birthday to that person. And everybody is not taking over that very public figure's Instagram.
Okay. Tell us how you really feel.
I just cause I mean we gotta call it what it is. We gotta call it what it is. It it's not the same. It's not the same thing. And we know it's not the same thing. And we gotta stop shooting this man bail. Like it's not the
Oh,
same
I'm
thing.
not shooting anybody, babe.
I just feel like and again, like we said this the other day, and I'm gonna say it again. I totally understand that Diddy's children are probably in probably devastation over there. And I totally understand that. But they're adults, not the little ones and not the teenagers. King Combs is an adult. King Combs is the same person who said he better not hear anybody say no Diddy and all of that. King Combs is the same person that was writing a diss track a couple months ago on behalf of his father. King Combs knows that this he's not accused of, doing something fun. He's not accused of anything nice. He's accused of some really heinous shit.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I mean to come with so much energy, but it's not the same thing as regular people just posting their friends on the internet. I just don't think it is. I don't think it's the same thing. That's all I'm trying to say.
Okay, I'm gonna ask a question. Is it because of the crimes that are accused? Because I know people who have family members convicted for murder and post that person and say, hey, show love to so and so who can't be out here today. Free them till it's backwards. Love you, so and so.
Diddy is a public figure.
And so
how many people see that compared to how many people see Diddy's Instagram? It's not the same.
Okay.
I mean, you're entitled to your opinion. I'm not saying that you're.
Well, I never gave my opinion. I was starting to say one of two perspectives I can see here.
Oh, so these are not your perspectives? These are just perspectives?
Right. I'm saying I can see different angles here. And one angle is a kid who's close with his dad and trying to celebrate his dad. I wasn't championing what he's doing. I'm simply saying I see this.
Okay. I see a
Yeah.
26-year-old who's not reading the room. Like that's why I'm saying what I'm saying. I feel like I was gonna say I feel like they're they need to the kids need to be coached by someone who can help guide them through their interactions with the media and their interactions with the public. You had one of them get into a fight the other day in public. You had you have this happening. There's the statement that they released, which wasn't bad, but I don't know. I feel like they need somebody. They need somebody navigating them through the media and how they interact with the public. Really.
Oh, I agree. That's the second perspective. The second perspective is I see someone who's doing more harm than good and can't read the room. Because you already did the diss track, which made things worse. You already put out statements, which made things worse. And now you're doing this, which is probably making things worse. And so I see that, yeah, you're a kid who wants to celebrate dad, but you're also not really thinking about how these things affect dad and his case. And yeah, that's it. I don't want to see King Combs doing any of this shit. I think King Combs should shut the fuck up. I think King Combs, it would behoove King Combs, just like you said, to stop posting, period, and just go chill out. This is not the time to be dancing and putting on shows. But yeah. So speaking of putting on shows, Glorilla was live with Cenat. She was on his stream and they seemed to have a good old time. And Cenat put up a post saying that that's noise, sorry. Cenat put up a post saying that the stream hit 200,000 views in 5 days and he's forever grateful. I don't follow Cenat, but I have said multiple times he's out here killing shit. And I think that's a beautiful thing for multiple reasons. He's got all type of fly brand deals. He's doing some fly stuff. And you know how I feel about Glow. So as soon as I heard about this, all I could say was, yeah, Glow. And so no, go ahead.
I was gonna say, so you thought this was a good look for Will?
I mean, this is the thing, right? People are going to hang out with Cenat. This is the thing. Kodak Black was there. We spoke about multiple times Kevin Hart being there. This is the thing, right? Nicki Minaj has been there. The new thing is artists are going to be with streamers. This is a form of promo. This is like going on a late night show and, doing promo there. It's just reaching a different demo than if you went on Jimmy Fallon, for example, right? Or whatever other late night shows exist. I'm not really sure. But this is just the version of that will reach a younger demographic. And so if you want to reach that younger demo, then you're going to go on Cenat. And also if you are popping enough, because not just everybody's going on Cenat. So yeah, I think it's a good look for Glow. I think regardless how we may or may not feel about this being the new wave, this is the new wave. Labels are having their artists go up there to get exposure, to see that, so that demographic can see them and see their personality. Um, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. It's a different form of media. It's a different way to see the personality. I think in these clips that I saw, you get to see a lot of Glorilla's personality.
Mm.
And I think that's always a good thing. I also think Glorilla has personality. Every artist doesn't. Every
Yeah,
artist does not have the cool vibe, funny, let's chill, silliness to them.
she
She's
gives a good
got,
interview.
she what?
She gives a good interview. Like I think what's the word? I'm not charming.
She's got Riz.
That's thank you. She's charismatic is what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Because I'm old. So I would say charismatic. But yes,
It's all
she's
good.
got Riz.
Riz, charisma, swag, whatever you like.
Yeah, I think she's very charismatic, and I think that helps when you're going on interviews. And people can also have light and fun conversations with you, along with talking about the serious stuff. Your album is out. You're excited about your music. Blah blah blah. Whatever. But
Right.
with her, and people like her, artists like her, they can have all kinds of conversations. It was very easy for Kai Cenat to cook with her
Right.
or do a dance with her, like
Right.
because she still has that lighthearted, fun personality.
Yep. I agree.
Um,
Yeah, I do think it was a good look for her. I think the fact that you see her being silly, you see her
mhm,
you see different sides of her personality in these clips. Obviously, I did not watch the whole stream.
mhm.
But even in the clips, you see all these different parts of her personality. You see her trying to gently tell him his breath stinks. You see them, cooking and her giving him instructions. You also see her going to serve him first. And then he's like, oh, nah, I got it. Right. And so you see all these different sides of her personality in the one stream. And
Yeah.
so I think that's a good look all the time.
Mhm.
I mean, it's part of why I pod, if we're being honest, so people can see different sides of my personality, different sides of what I think. And I think that this is something that is positive about the streams. You get to see the person and you get to see different layers of the person.
Yeah.
So I think that's good, especially for an artist like Glow. Now, again, every artist doesn't have that. Some artists won't be able to do those things and be so comfortable, right? Because you might be able to do it, but you'll be more rigid, or you won't be so excited or so comfortable. She looked very comfortable. She looked like, yeah, this is my homie if you knew no better, just looking at it, it looked like this is my homie and we chill all the time.
Mhm.
Now, I don't know their relationship. They probably don't chill all the time, but I'm saying she looked extremely comfortable. And I think that's good on both sides, because the young black man hosting the young black woman on his feed, he has to do things to make sure she feels comfortable. And then her looking comfortable make it look like, yeah, I could chill in any space. What do you think?
Yeah, I thought it was great. I like I said, I think she's very charismatic, and I enjoy watching her when she's doing an interview. She's done several interviews recently where I've been like, oh, okay, this is fun. Like, and she's what 20? Is it 24 or something like that?
26 or 27, something like that.
Like, it should be fun and it should be light. She should be having a good time during this time of her career. So I like that. I don't always need the super serious, especially for certain artists. That's not really what I'm looking for. So I appreciated this. I thought this was fun. The first thing I saw was the two of them doing a dance, and they were like in lockstep with each other. I just thought that was hilarious. Like,
Yeah,
I don't know why. Sometimes you just need something like, and I think that's what it was. I think it
I
was
agree.
just, it created like fun. They created some fun content. Um, and as we always say, like Glorilla is doing her thing, and it's really exciting to see her shine. And
Right.
I'm glad that we're getting to hear from her now. Like, you know, the music is out there and we have it and we're listening to it and people are saying wonderful things about her album.
Yep.
Um,
Including us. Go check our review.
and I was gonna say that too, just like sometimes with music there can be an age gap when there's music from certain artists that might be a little bit younger than certain groups. I hear a lot of 40 and over crowd women are loving Glorilla's album.
Oh, nice.
Like that's been a topic of conversation on the internet. Like that the older millennials are loving Glorilla's album, which I think is
That's
super
great.
cool because I think that sometimes you do find yourself listening to music or hearing music and going, I don't know if this is for me.
Right.
This doesn't resonate with me. And I think what's been cool to watch is that her music is resonating with a lot of different types of women and a lot of different women from all walks of life. So
Yeah, I agree. It is cool.
yeah.
Now something we might not agree on.
Speaking of content,
Speaking of content, so this is from Variety, and it says here Gladiator 2 star Paul Mescal railed against labeling films as content. He called the descriptor a filthy word. Quote, over the last few years, people have been talking about films as content. That's a filthy word. It's not quote unquote content. It's fucking work, he said. I'm not being snobby, but there are two concurrent industries. There are two concurrent industries. One that works with a lack of care, artistic integrity, go nuts. Make stuff with Instagram followers as a factor, whatever. But the other is what has always been there, the craft of film making, directing, lighting, and production design. That keeps artists alive.
that tells me a few things about that person.
Okay, talk about it.
One, it tells me that that person doesn't know what goes into content creation. Um, it also lets me know that that person it does make me think that that person is elitist and thinks that content creation is somehow less than other things. Also, just so we're clear, and I'm really upset because I screenshot the Merriam-Webster um, definitions of content, and movies are content,
I
books are
got you right now.
content.
I got you.
Everything that you consume as art is content. The only reason, okay, you could please, and then I'll get back into it. But please share it with us.
Now, this one is from CambridgeDictionary.org. It says the subject or ideas contained in something written, said, created, or represented.
Everything is content. Everything that is considered art is considered content. The content of a painting, the content of a book. A book has a table of contents. Did anybody ever books have table of contents? Where that word has existed since we all were in school. Content is used today as a buzzword, but it's always existed as a word.
Mhm.
A movie is considered content. Just because you don't like the fact that there are people who don't are not in the film industry that is considered to be somehow more professional than other work that people do doesn't mean that content is not content, because it all is content and has been since you started making movies. It was always content. It is used just like many other words because we have so much information now and people are able to pick up words and use them, and a lot of times words are used as throwaway words and buzzy words and things like that. But words actually do mean things, and content, its literal definition is what a movie is what a book is what whatever thing it is. So I just think that that's an elitist on his soapbox. I understand that movie making, filmmaking is a very respected craft, and I respect it very much. And I don't think that someone who makes a video in their house is the same as someone who films an entire movie on a movie set in Hollywood. However, I see value on both ends. And I think that's where I don't like what he said, because he's he somehow found a way to diminish the value of what people today, I guess, would consider content do. It doesn't mean that those people don't work. It does. There are people getting paid millions of dollars to be digital content creators. Like,
Correct.
it doesn't mean, and those people put a lot of money and a lot of time into doing that.
Right.
I agree that there are people who do very frivolous things for money. I will say that. And some of those people are, in fact, content creators. But to make it seem like people like people lack talent, you know how many digital creators, because I know that's what he's pointing to. So that's why I'm honing in on digital creators. But really it's everybody who creates. But what bothers me is that, you know how many digital creators probably can't get put on the regular way, the way that he maybe got put on to movies and whatnot, but are just as talented as some actors in Hollywood? You know how many people are making their living off of being funny on the internet and are funnier than some of the comedians that people love and put in movies all the time? You know how many people built their careers on the backs of taking photos of their friends? I can name a couple of the black girls that started out just taking pictures of their friends for content and ended up, one of them, Bex Francois, is Kamala Harris's campaign photographer now. Oh my gosh, what is her name? Her name escapes me right now. Ravy B, who is like shooting all of this content, if you will, music videos, celebrities, all kinds of things. She too started in New York, hanging out with her friends, taking videos and photos of them and whatnot, and now is out of this world. So I just get frustrated with stuff like this, because I'm like, one, you don't know the definition of content, and two, I know what you're trying to say, and it's fine. Go be a movie star. Everybody is not a movie star, and that is not what I'm saying. But don't disrespect people who are actually working hard and actually probably have to lift more than a finger because of the fact that they don't have the big operation that you have over there with your big budget films. That's all I'm saying.
All right. Well, number one, that was very well said. You killed that. You're welcome. Yeah, I agree with a lot of what you said. You know, when I first saw this, just the part that said, films are not content, and he was like, yes, they are, off pod, I was like, oh, we might have a fun debate. But as I read the rest of the quote here on the pod, I'm further in agreement with him. I agree there are different forms of media, which is what he is pointing out. There are different forms of content, as you said. And yeah, you're right. That's what it is. Different forms of content. And I think that's a distinction he's missing. I agree with you that he is short-sighted and probably a bit naive about what exactly happens with content creation. There are plenty of big podcasts, for example, who their set and the lighting and the cameras on that set are the same ones being used in the movies.
Yeah.
They are being shot the same way as the movies. And the editing style may be different, but most, I won't say most, there are a lot of things that are common in those interests, in those worlds. So, me and you, sure, we may have a very smaller, different setup, especially because we're not recording in person, than one of the top 10 podcasts. But those top 10 podcasts, they have people who work on the lights, people who work on the cameras, people who edit what's filmed, much like a movie set. And they're on a set, by the way. I am in my living room, but the people in the top 10 podcasts.
I was gonna agree with you and say, or even if they're in, I can't give away too much information, but some of them who are filming in their homes basically turn their homes into a full-on studio
Yes.
with very high quality setup and a whole team that comes in to their home and executes it like it is on a movie set. I mean, we
Yeah.
all don't have that kind of money, but there are many of big podcasters who do that because one, it allows them to work at home, but also the setup is state of the art.
Yes. And so I don't agree with him saying that content and media, content and films are worlds apart. I don't like the way he worded it. It does seem like he's trying to shit on people who create in ways that are not movies. And so actually, I do disagree with his quote. I do think there are different types of content. A film is not just content in the sense that someone who says, I'm going to get breakfast, so I'm going to film it as content. No, that's not the same. It is a very different thing, and I agree with that. But him acting like people do not put in work and people don't have to do lots of things to create on high levels is not true. He seems to be a bit uneducated in that field. There are people who write their skits, film their skits, edit their skits. They have to work with other people, other comedians, other actors, much like the film that you are currently starring in. And so those people also have to memorize scripts. There are lots of short films on social media. And so, yeah, he's right. There are people who do it for the gram, right? Who say, oh, I know my followers like when I wear superhero shirts. So I threw out all my polos and button downs and all I have is superhero shirts. So that way when I film in superhero shirts, my superhero shirt fans will be very excited about the stuff I'm doing in the superhero shirts. Yeah, there's people like that. That's true. But that's not every person who does something on social media. And so to say that everyone is creating simply for Instagram is also disrespecting lots and lots of people who do a lot more than just think, I'm only doing this thing for likes. I'm only doing this thing for the gram. Some of the people who do these short films, much like the people Dash mentioned, I won't name names, but there are people I've seen who are comedians and actors who are doing things on social media to create a brand and to create a buzz, and they do end up in films. And they end up on those same sets you're on, in those same towns you're filming in. And so I don't think he realizes what it takes to do content, especially to do content on a high level. There's lots of different production that goes into it. And I'm also shocked. I looked up his age. He's 28. I'm shocked somebody so young has such a strong and wrong stance on this thing. It's something that you would think like an older person in their 40s or 50s would say. So, yeah, I do disagree. I thought I would kind of side with him because I think, yeah, if we're talking about the guy filming his bagel for breakfast, and him and Denzel in the movie, yeah, it's different. But actually, as he kept talking, as I kept reading the quote, nah, I don't agree with the way he's saying it at all. Is it different? Yes, but it doesn't mean that that person doesn't work as hard as you do. It doesn't mean that that person and their creation doesn't have value. And you can not like a word, but don't shit on everybody who does something that you don't do.
Yeah, I think like that.
Because there's words I don't like. There's lots of words that I hear that are hip or buzzworthy or popular, and I think they're fucking dumb. And that's fine, but understand what the person is saying, you know?
Yeah. I laughed when you said the thing about superhero shirts because it made me think of a character on this season of Only Murders in the Building.
Mhm.
There was a character who his entire apartment was decked out in Christmas stuff, tinsel, and just everything Christmas. And he was always wearing an ugly Christmas sweater. He was always dressed like it was Christmas. And when they asked him, well, why are you why is your apartment like, do you love Christmas that much? And he was like, no, actually at this point I hate it, but the
Right.
reason why I do it is because I made the mistake of making one Christmas post, and that's the post that did the best. So now everything is Christmas, because when I try to post other things, no one likes it, so I just post the Christmas content. But now they want me to post Christmas content eating breakfast, and
Yep.
it was really funny because it was very telling, and it was exactly what you're saying. He was like,
Right.
I can't do anything else because the people on the internet of this photo that went viral, all these people are here because of that. They're here because of that specific content, and now I have to create that specific content, and if I want to keep up my audience. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know, but I thought that was interesting. So.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't agree with him. But what I will say is it is time for us to go.
Yes.
And so, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being here. We hope you enjoyed this pod. Let us know your thoughts, and we will see you tomorrow.